everyone. I'm Tara, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Spiritual Talk Show. I am your host. My co-host, Annette, couldn't be here this evening. However, she will be making an appearance, hopefully sometime soon. As you know, just by the title, the Spiritual Talk Show. So, we're here to talk about spiritual stuff, or spirituality. And to remember during this whole thing not to judge others by their beliefs, because it all basically comes back to the same place. A lot of people, they look and they think of, well, the church, religion is the spirituality. Well, you can look at it that way, but in my opinion, spirituality is how you look and perceive things, what makes you happy. I don't believe that people really want to make each other miserable. Throughout this thing, we've all been probably going through a lot of different changes, at least the past couple of years, kind of, full-fledged, kind of like an explosion, because what just happened? The world blew up. Everything went like, wow, what? How's this all happening at once? Okay, well, it's like everybody's been saying, so people have been waking up to the spiritual aspect, opposed to so much the religion. And when you look at all the religions, I am going to say this because I've been kind of looking at things rather differently lately. I see everything in everything. So it's going through your spirituality and keeping an open mind. Not mocking others for their beliefs, because, well, you don't know what they've actually experienced through their spiritual journey, which a lot of people are calling it the spiritual awakening, the Great Awakening. We're all looking at it different, and we're all seeing it through different eyes, kind of like when you look at the Bible, okay? Every place has different beliefs, what have you, but when you actually look at it all as a whole, they're all directed at the same thing, only it's been looked at through different eyes, different aspects. So you can't say something's not true just because it's said that, well, it's not true, or it's a conspiracy theory. As you're going through your spiritual journey, that's part of what you come to, and you're there and you're looking at everything, and when you hear something and it makes you kind of like, huh? What? Then you know that, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. So, people have a very curious mind. Okay? They say curiosity killed the cat, but, like, curiosity is what helped the cat to get free, let's say. So cat will think outside the box. Bird will think outside the box. It's part of spiritual journey for some people in their spiritual journey. Animals, birds, which are all animals, some flight, some ground, some water, and some trees, and some just utterly creepy, but they're a creation. And as you go through your spiritual journey, you start noticing things you wouldn't notice before. Let's say, for instance, you have a loved one who passed. I know a few people that it's happened to, where they've experienced the supernatural of seeing a loved one. A lot of people won't tell other people. Reason being, well, because people will mock you. Even if they've experienced it themselves, they mock you because they have people mocking them. Or they see it happening to other people. So it's follow the leader. Well, don't follow the leader. Be your own leader. And that's what your spiritual journey is. It's looking within yourself and finding out who you are. Some of you, okay, women, and some men, because their wives or girlfriends or what have you, kind of force them to watch the old Charmed, Alyssa Milano and whatever their names are. Okay, I'm not big on actors, actresses. Alyssa Milano was because of a show back way when, in the 80s. Moving on. I actually lost my point there for a second. That happens during your spiritual awakening, because you can get into a thought and then you jump onto another one. Just now, take for instance. Yeah, I know you're doing it, right? So when you look, they come together in the end, and they defeat. So when you go on that spiritual journey, you discover new things about yourself. You discover, like, it's a light feeling. Some of you have probably been experiencing anxiety. Very common. Some of you may have been experiencing some unexpected jolting. Just things that you don't normally experience. Oh yes, I was speaking about, like, people seeing their loved ones. I have an uncle / great uncle. Long story. Not the way you think, though. Which, each to their own. I know it happens because, well, let's just say the gods were doing it, because that's how things were created. In some texts, it says that, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say that because I'm going to have to really look into it deeper. When you're looking things up, always make sure you cross-reference. Don't take the first thing as gospel. Don't go by mainstream media. Know when to read between the lines, and if it makes your head shake, then you know there's something not right, right? Okay. So then you're waking up. Your spiritual journey has been going through your whole time. And right now, we're in the time of the apocalypse. So when they say about, okay, Jesus resurrecting the dead, okay, well, there's a lot of stuff coming up in the news and in discoveries of things from history, and things that have been hid are coming up. So even though the dead may not be physically here for everyone to see, they're still here, and this way their voices are getting heard. So by you standing up and being truthful to yourself, because you know when something doesn't make sense, it's a logic and reason. Sorry about that. I'm just going to leave that to ring. It's a landline. I should have turned the ringer down, but I didn't because I didn't think I'd get a phone call. But we are living in a matrix, so when you're doing something good to help others to understand what's happening to them, to understand the truth, the matrix tends to step in and use stuff. Electronics, for instance. Ever get involved in something and then all of a sudden the phone will ring and there's no one there? Well, think about it. It's not paranoia. It's reality right now. It's the way it's going. It's like people say deja vu. Well, that's a big part of spiritual awakening. It's like, wait a minute. I've seen this before, or I've experienced it. So those are big parts to it. I know that the people that say that they've seen loved ones or like other people, other spiritual, supernatural things, oh yes, that stuff does exist. Because it's all depending on the vibration you're on. Where you are in your spiritual journey. What you're experiencing at that moment. Our loved ones are actually our spirit guides, and they come to help us through this journey. Any death is uncalled for. And I think, well, I don't think, I know that deep down in everyone, you truly know that, like, how in biblical times, like from what I've read and looked into, they were saying that Noah was 800 and some years old. So they obviously had something right. And we got it wrong, or we are really being lied to. And we're actually a heck of a lot older than what we believe to be. Which is actually possible because in the world of reality, when you come out of the stupor, the sleep, and you wake up, you actually see it. Time just goes by differently. You experience things differently. You feel like the earth is shaking out from under you sometimes. So you get off kilter and dizzy. Or your head is in a fog. And I know they use that term with a new virus that they got going out now. I won't speak of it. But that's what we're looking at, and we're seeing a bunch of different things in the world happening, and we're all trying to make sense of it. Well, that's our consciousness trying to make sense of it. So it's glitching. You're like, wait a minute, whoa, what's going on here, right? So I know that with every one of yous, yes, I said yous, have experienced that. And you'd be lying if you said you didn't. Because everybody experiences something similar to everyone at least once. And when you look at someone and you connect, and it's like, whoa, I know that person, but I don't know where I know them from. Well, maybe it's not the person you're seeing, but maybe it's the actual soul inside there that you're recognizing. That's part of your spiritual awakening. Okay. there's a lot more I could get into. I'm sometimes getting like you get and you kind of you feel like you're listening for something. Well, you actually are. I know it sounds woo paranoia. Well, when people say that they're hearing voices, they actually are, because you have the positive entities, the positive beings, which I'll get into the aspect of that later, because people mock telepaths. If you don't know what that means, it means being able to communicate through the brain waves, what have you, kind of a wireless communication device without the use of satellites. You mock it, but it's real, because the military actually use it. It's been documented, and it's come out in documentaries. There's a lot coming to fruition that we've been ignoring for way too long. Some of you have heard of the Mandela effects. Look some of those up, because like the things that you thought were what things were actually weren't. Like we all thought, okay, Jiffy peanut butter. Well, it's actually Jif. And how do I know? Because I looked it up, and when I was in the hospital, I seen a peanut butter container, and it said Jif peanut butter. So they may be small, minor little things, but those small things that you think are minor are what gives them the ability to pull the wool over our eyes, kind of like a curtain or a smoke screen, you know, an illusion. There's this show called Bullshit, I believe it's called, about magicians and telepaths and mediums. Well, it's not bullshit. Do you notice that, like, the people that actually say it's bull poop is the ones who don't want you to know that these people exist, because a lot of us go to them. Sorry. This happens when you talk about this stuff. It's like it comes up and it's almost like a suffocation, a squeezing off. When you're coming out of your journey and you speak about it and it's not wanted, then energies change. It attracts different things, but you learn to build a immunity to it, because it's just like a very good friend of mine, Michael. He does Our Everyday Lives on YouTube. It's his channel. As he explained, is you just take it and you just flick it off, because it's just a gnat, a mosquito, a pesky little bug. And right now, I'm experiencing things. I do not mock people who say that they hear other people communicating, because it's a telepath. We're all connected. And by being connected, a lot of you've heard of Nikola Tesla. Well, that's what he was telling us. We are our own free energy because we have it here. We're really not as stupid as we think we are, and the Marvel Comics, X-Men people, what have you, they were actually, a lot of it was based on Nikola Tesla himself, because if you research him or you check his the documentaries on him and what have you, it says on there about the things that he does. He says that we can fly. Ever have a dream you were flying? Well, we can fly. Is what he's said. He says we don't literally have wings, but we can fly. We levitate through vibration, frequency, energy. This is what he speaks of. This is what other people are telling you. When people say about frequencies, okay, 528, 432, 285, 417, 485, 999, what have you. They're all different frequencies for everything. But you listen to them, and there's ones to get your DNA back, because you think that all this DNA stuff is oh poo poo poo. Well, Caroline Leaf, Bruce Lipton, I'm having what I call a brain fart because I'm going through my mental filing cabinet looking at the piece of paper that I wrote the names down on. And it will come back. So I may blurt it out in the next episode I do. We'll call it episode because it's kind of like a talk show type thing. So some of you can actually request certain topics, and put your thoughts out there, and we'll figure out a way to bring everyone together if that is what everyone wants, and we'll have a discussion. No ignorance will not be tolerated. It's sharing experiences. No judgment, because don't judge a book by its cover, because you don't know what's inside of it, so you don't know the story behind it. We have to also keep in mind that everybody has been brought up differently, and they have to work with their spirituality. It's all welcome to share your stories, and like I say, please, no judgment, because we've all walked different journeys, experienced things differently. Like I said, you're looking at stories from different angles. We need to keep an open mind, as I said, that all religious texts eventually in the end comes back to the same. People just believe in the same things differently because it's been told, it's been passed down, it's been their experiences, the way it's been told to them, their ancestors, what have you. So that's the part of the awakening. I am going to leave everyone with that because I feel like I've been talking and talking. I hope this resonates with a lot of you. Most of you. I'd love for it to be all of you, but I know everybody looks at things differently. And we're all entitled to that. We're free thinkers, we're sovereign beings, and we have free will. So, I am going to leave you with that, and I will be back on again. This has been an experience for myself. I hope it's been helpful to you in understanding that you are not alone through this, and there are more people out there than what you really know that think the same way and have the same beliefs, because magic is real. Love is one of the biggest magics of all. So keep that in mind, and I wish you all a great night, a very well-rested, peaceful enjoyment, fun-filled dreams, because they are actual journeys you go on while you're sleeping. That's why some of them feel so real, because your spirit goes for a journey while your vessel, your body, rests. So I hope that, well, tomorrow will bring sunshine. Keep an open mind that it will. It will. And I hope you all get out in it. Suck it up. The vitamin D, is healthy for us. Another thing you gotta look into too is with regards to radiation, because the radiation in the air that's hurting us is not radiation from the sun, it's the radiation from the pollution of the big businesses sending it off. I will leave you with that little last note. Had to throw that in there. So I wish you all a great sleep, a very peaceful, relaxing night. Love to you all. Namaste. Ake ptutovlej, ale myškolej, a